Potter's Journal, it is September 2022. Okay, kiln opening today. Kiln opening with the garlic jars. We might have some competition though. Let's check in with the weaver. And other ways of storing your garlic. Here we go, baskets and the weaver. This is what kind of basket?
This is a garlic sack. It's a little, sack that you can hang on the wall. And it's open, so it's...
People like that kind of stuff, and they come in other sizes?
Yes, I have my baby one. It holds one garlic.
Oh, look at that, for one little clove. And they come in other sizes?
And this is an onion sack. This is,
they wouldn't buy my onion jar. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. And what other kind of things do you do with this?
Well, the garlic sacks I can make decorative, and they're used as soap sacks in a bathroom for decoration.
With seashells for a sea theme.
And bones from a turtle that I collected.
Okay, and that's a random weave?
Yeah, this is a random weave. And this could be used as an onion sack.
Okay, well, before we get to that kiln opening, any other one you want to show us real quick?
Well, there's a bunch of the random ones that I did here.
Okay, and you did a great video on that, where you wove ties and all kind of stuff through.
These are unwoven with anything in them.
Okay, and that one's got an interesting shape and form. That one's very sculptural. Okay, let's see what's in the kiln today. And here we go. What is in the kiln today? I put half of these garlic jars all in the same kiln and also all on the top shelf. So if anything was going to go wrong, it would. And the first thing I see is, look, they're supposed to be sea mist, and it came out very thin. We can see it's almost like a clear speck. But on the side... Okay, there it is. It is the sea mist. So, all those, and now you know what? Well, these lids are all going to be a little bit different. The people who keep saying, get out your hydrometer, and this, I haven't made lids for a long time, so we'll have the experience of making sure they come off. Use your hydrometer. It doesn't always completely work that way. Why didn't it stick the glaze to the lids as thick as the sides? I don't know. I remember putting them in the glaze and counting so many seconds. And but also, maybe they, in the bisque, they were fired a little different. They, being smaller, maybe absorbed more heat and were a little more... a little warmer temperature, so maybe that caused them not to soak it in as much. Okay, let's get this moving along. These were, they're not all garlic jars. This was a special order. Somebody saw my little heart picture and said, do you have one for salt? Okay, and then, because he liked salt, I guess, and she liked the cream, and then they said, well, maybe we should do a cream or a sugar too, so they have a sugar and cream. This one is a garlic jar, but I did some. Oh, and you know what? I put them on one side of the kiln that I think were the garlic jars and the sugar. Okay, so there, hopefully we have a set of, and there should be another one for the sugar too. There we go. A set of sugar and cream and a salt. Now, they also wanted the hole in there. I don't know. So you can leave the spoon in. It seems that it would be better to be able to close it in. So I do have some extra lids. And this is, the rest of these probably will be the garlic jars. This is just the whole glaze, one glaze, sea mist. And the black banding of slip that I comb through. So it's a small pot. I've already put so much into the making of it, poking the holes, the lid, cleaning it, glazing it, waxing it. So just dipped in one glaze and the simple banding done on the wheel to give it some kind of decoration. And these work dipped in 2 glazes. So, and I really packed this shelf on the top very tight, so tight that I wanted to get one more piece in there, and it wouldn't fit. So I put the cutout side from the little votive here against the wall and picked up an extra 1/8 of an inch to fit them all in. And I probably could have fit a little more in the shots. Okay, these were all, once again, in the sea mist. This one I brushed some wax on to just do a little abstract waxy. Okay, I wish I didn't do that. Okay, and the first of this year's face mugs off of the Klopfenstein treadle wheel. And I did come back. I don't have a stamp that says Kohut kick wheel, but I did add kicked to the scratched in signature with iron oxide. So I'm going to have to take a cup full of water out of the glaze. I think it could be a little bit thinner. I like it when it's thin and it breaks and shows all the features of the face, but I think a little bit too thin. And this is not like that, what I called my big kiln opening fairly recently, maybe a month or more back, that had art pieces in, but just standard, okay, production pieces. But again, the idea, you know, decorated, banded on the wheel and combed through with slip while on the wheel, and then just dipped in a single glaze. Now, if you have a market that'll take higher price range and more upscale items in decorating, go for it. Okay, and I do go for it if you've seen my big kiln opening, but I have to say something different since you've seen me do this before. I've evolved this design too, that once upon a time it was just dipped in one glaze, and that was about the only decoration. Then I started combing into it with a rib that caused the glaze to pull, and then I think this is the best now with the black slip underneath and the slight variation in color, but also the lip, that I've really changed the lip. It used to be just a groove in the top of it, and now I have this line down here, so it once again really suggests the idea of a pie, maybe makes you hungry for one when you're looking at the plate, and maybe some subliminal message will register in the back of their head, buy me, buy me. So this might be the time to say, okay, this is not just another kiln opening. Okay, some great pottery tips for you there, while we maybe look at the same old thing. But a time to say, okay, do hit like and subscribe for the Potter's Journal tips.
Okay, and skull shots, but since you have seen me do this before, and I don't want to show you and tell you the same things, look how I loaded this. Look how I loaded this. I see so many kiln unloadings. They seem to get a ton of views. Have a lot of pinholes where they're wasting a ton of space in the kiln and may have only put the chip and dip plate on this shelf.
And these little guys can really help pay for the firing. I sell them relatively cheap. They're plain and simple. People pick up a handful of them. I'm trying to make them more interesting by only putting glaze on a portion of them. I get a little more if they say Pittsburgh. And, okay, quite a bit more, too, if they've got my signature slipware, okay, with the signature right on the side of the pot and all the extra drawings. I'll have to do some of those as punks. And I'm hoping, okay, a local coffee company is going to take these for their espresso shots. They will really fly out the door and pay for the kiln firing. And here we go back to that thing, why I don't use a hydrometer. The same thickness, okay, on this thing And when this was a layered glaze with standard ceramic sea mist over my bluey glaze. Well, if you watched this summer, I had to wash the glaze off of one of these because it was too thick, and it was chipping off. Well, after thinning down the glaze to where it was too thin on some of the pots you saw me pull out today, it was still too thick the way it adhered and stuck to this one. So I fired it anyway. The places where there were the chips, there were runs, but there is thin coats of glaze here, so it is part of the design of the pot. It is glazed, but it's showing almost what looks like raw clay. It's kind of the thickness you would get from an ash glaze on a lot of pieces. So the hydrometer, working out the thickness of the glaze. Okay, with the graduated cylinder. It's only going to take you so far. You're going to have to fire enough pots and look at the kiln, or look at them and see, you know, how it looks. Okay, and this is another one of my blended glazes. I hold, let's see, I do the face first, and for an ear, I hold it right there and dip it in the glaze, so we've got a bit of an ear. So once again, okay, unless you are able to get, these guys do get quite a bit more than a regular mug for me, but okay, if you're not one of those potters who went to marketing school, and if you don't live in a tourist resort area and you're struggling to get what you need to out of them, it's a way to put a little extra into the piece at low effort. You know, kind of that, Warren Mackenzie philosophy. And, you know, many of his pieces not having trimmed feet. Okay. So there'll be more face mugs to come. I think these shots are starting to, you'll be seeing a lot of these, hopefully. And I always save some piece for last. This one I dipped in the white slip. This one I dipped in the white slip. I rubbed it lightly off the high points, so we've got the features showing off. So this guy, I should have added my signature to the side, since he is a slipware piece. Not with the drawing. He is special, a little extra special compared to the others. So if I do any more of these, and they've all been dried and bisked, so that'll be another firing, another year maybe, another batch of face mugs. Okay, but when after doing so many all the same, it's always fun to try something new. Okay, a little variety and a little spice. And I think he just gave us a big bowls, make great fruit bowls. Back to the garlic. I do have to admit, my garlic only got a second in the fair. And I do have to admit, look at this, even a medium clove of garlic won't even fit in there. Until after it's broken up and used. It's really they're looking more for a kitchen accent than anything else. So and the price point, so I won't complain. I was surprised that I did get a ribbon and won something on my garlic. Where I was a big winner at the fair was 2 orchards entered tons and tons of apple categories, and they didn't pick them up. I got there at the end of the show, just as they were about to put them in the dumpster. Look what I got! I got at least 3 boxes of these. So I will run this one back down to the weaver. So there you go, garlic jars and woven basket garlic sacks. Stop back and see what's going on in the studio next week.